Hello friends, it's me Carol. As always, I'm so glad you joined me today. Let me go ahead and explain what this video is going to be all about. I have done two previous videos. The first one is entitled, Who Do You Think You Are? The second one talked about our belief systems, a little bit about the ego, and it was all based on a two-day workshop that I had facilitated back in the year 2000, as well as some of the chapters of a author that I interviewed on my radio show, Dr. Judith Orloff, and her Guide to Intuitive Healing. We will discuss this today a little bit. I'll show you where I'm taking some information, but you may want to get paper and pen out, as well as your 22 major arcana cards from the tarot. I will be demonstrating an exercise that I did in the workshop to help us tap in to our emotions, our belief system, what needs to be healed. So again, you may want to pause and get all that ready. Let me talk about this wonderful book and why I chose it to work with in my workshops. Number one, she is an intuitive healer. She is a psychologist that believes that there is a new way of healing people, and that is affirming that our intuition is a light in what we as individuals need to heal within ourselves. And she works with that with her patients and in this book. The book is into three parts. She talks about the body, she talks about emotions and relationships, and the third part is about sexual wellness. Now, I focused on the information, especially belief systems. It's in part 2 under emotions and relationships. Today I will cover chapter 6, which is the beginning, the emotional path of the warrior, here with you today. And I'm going to go ahead, and of course I have things highlighted because when I interview an author, this is where I like to talk about aspects of their books. So let me go ahead and paraphrase a lot of this information. I will also be giving you quotes, and again, we will be doing an exercise at the last part of this video. Okay, so there's two devils sitting at a booth in a diner. They're talking shop. And one devil reprimands the other and says, "You let humans off far too easy. There's only one approach that works with them, and that's hell and damnation. You know I swear by it, and it works for me." The other devil shakes his head. "Why waste all that effort?" he snickered. "Just leave them alone. They'll do it all to themselves." So Dr. Orloff goes on and says, that is our challenge as emotional warriors, is to live a different kind of life than these two demons assume about us. And that is to see ourselves with all our shortcomings, our limitations, with compassion. That there's a reason for this, there's a lesson to be learned, and not continuously beating ourselves up. She says that is the first step. Now, and I am going to kind of quote her for this. She said, "This entails a radical shift in self-perception, an all-inclusive inquiry into who we are," which was part 1 of my video series. And that no hiding, no denying, no part left out. And this is where she says most of us hit a brick wall. We're afraid to admit, we're ashamed to admit, we do not want to face our shortcomings, the reality of our circumstances, that we are responsible for what we have going on in our lives. Fear, what have you. She talks about that. But she also says that that's part of life, and none of us are immune from life's ups and downs. That's all part of being human. And then I will begin with some of the quotes that I wanted to share with you that I think are very empowering as we work through our healing process. Emotions, all of them, are the precious nuts and bolts of the spiritual journey. Healing from the inside out, and you can set yourself free. So what's inside of us is what matters most. Not the face we put on, not the things we have in our lives. She goes on to say we can be beautiful, we can have brains, we can have money and fame. But if we are filled with despair, self-loathing, we will not have inner joy and lasting happiness. She also goes on to say that we are on the earth to learn, and it's a place where there is light as well as adversity. She also has another quote she would like to share, I would like to share, and that we view the world through the lens of how we feel about ourselves. That was the big question. Who do you think you are? How do you see yourself? And notice what this statement incites in you. She also then quotes an Indian sage. It's a very short quote. He is Ramana Maharishi. We have heaven and hell within us. And I think that really identifies with what the tarot teaches us. Let's expound on that a little more. Now, this is taken directly from her book, Dr. Orloff, and she says, we contain paradoxes within us: love, hate, hope, despair, strength, weaknesses, all that the universe holds. Once we embrace this, our life experience has the ability to transform us, but we have to embrace it. We have to get out of denial. We cannot run away from it, especially if you're on a spiritual journey all the time. Be willing to enter and feel your emotions. Sit with them and stay open. You will feel them. In parentheses, she does state this in more than one way. She wants you to stick with it. It is not easy, but it's essential. It's the first step. If we can see our most powerful pain as an opportunity to heal, we can undo the spell of darkness. And then there is this beautiful quote: darkness is transmuted into light by love. Again, she says, let's be compassionate, let's be patient, and let's work with this one step at a time. And we may need a buddy to reflect on, someone to talk to. Certainly, if we're in therapy, we talk to our therapist, but we also talk to a trusted friend. Okay, so let's continue, and what I'm going to share with you is what I did in the workshop. Of course, I can't give that one-on-one personal, but I will go ahead and also add questions that we did in the workshop with the tarot that helps go a little bit further for those of you who want to journal. So my recommendation, as I said earlier, to take out the 22 major arcanas, and you may want to shuffle them, and you may say that you would like to choose, let's say, let me redress that. I ask that the archetypal energy of one of the major arcana can be shown to me that reflects an area I need to heal now? Something of that nature. You want to program the cards in the area that we're looking in. And what you're seeing here on your screen is 2 columns. The Tarot Major Arcana psychological interpretations. We're going to see the healing aspects. It means that this is how to work constructively. You may already be doing that with one of the 22 major arcanas. Certainly, it is helpful for you to work with your zodiac card of the major arcana if you know it. And then these are the blockages to healing. It may be a card that comes out in reverse, or that you're not aware of it in any way. It's unconscious. But look at that and realize that, wow, this is so foreign to me. I don't identify it. It may have been blocked, and it certainly could be a shadow aspect. So I will go and do all 22 cards, and as we are looking at these, I will also add sometimes some quotes or some additional questions to ask yourself. So make sure this is where you can see it on your screen. Excellent. Okay, let's begin with the Magician. Let's say you picked the Magician. Well, you are owning your power, or misuse of your talents. And there's a false self that's being presented somewhere. My question in the workshop was, is my willpower enough to master what I desire? The High Priestess. Acceptance of the past. Inability to process or trust yourself. Are you meditating and seeking the hidden past, that the mysteries that you hold within your unconscious, and be patient? The High Priestess tells us that what we need to know will surface, will be revealed, but it has to be in proper time, where you are capable or open to receiving that unconscious awareness. Now that, I have learned, can be a gift of some ability that you didn't know you had, or a shadow that really has colored or blocked you from really seeing the truth. The Empress. Self-love, nurturing, and being creative. The blockages can come emotional patterns, emotionally barren, and low self-worth. The Temperance, what we discussed in the workshop, was mother figures. Is there any healing having to be done with mothers, or you as a mother with your children? Are you taking care of self, nurturing yourself? And also looking at what you created. The Emperor, that's about confidence and self-discipline. The other end of that spectrum is fear expressed through conflict and having to be in control. The Emperor, we look as the father figure, or who has authority. Is your life in an orderly, workable way? How are you as a father of your children? The Hierophant. There is the higher inner voice. Or are there others' beliefs and lack in faith in your own self and what you want to believe or are afraid to believe? And are you a conformist The Hierophant is all about religious background and how it affects you. I also asked the class your ethics, where you get your guidance from, and does it make sense to you at this point in your life? Lovers, capable of relating and committing, of course. Or is there fear of closeness? And is there conflicts within self? The Lovers is, of course, all about harmony in relationships. It's about union, also about union of your own head and heart. Of those two, and we can say the head is the masculine and the heart is the feminine, the duality within us. Of those two, who does the choosing most of the time? The Chariot, self-control and determination. No sense of direction or boundaries in life. So we'll have to look at the Chariot in that opposition. The question then is, do I take action and meet my challenges? Or do I know when my ego is pursuing me in the wrong direction? Strength, integrity and courage, or lack of, being insecure, we have sexual issues, and aggressiveness. So strength is, do I have the endurance and the confidence to tame my lower instincts and be willing to accept the consequences? The Hermit, able to self-examine and to reflect. Now that takes time to do that. Or do I feel isolated from my source? And do I give power away to a guru or an other and let them make decisions for me? The Hermit asks, can I detach from worldly pleasures and distractions and contemplate and seek where or what I am to do next in my life? The Wheel of Fortune, ability to adjust and accept. Now, the opposite of that is the victim mentality, procrastination, and getting stuck. So the Wheel of Fortune asks, can I go with the flow and see change as an opportunity to learn? Just as simple as that. Yeah, not easily done for sure. Justice is all about evaluating and having the confidence in yourself, you know, that you're able to look at both sides of a situation in an almost detached way. Or lack of responsibility and kind of blaming of others. So the question is, for justice, is there equanimity in my life? The Hangman, ability to let go of falsehoods. That's where we looked at our beliefs and we realized that's a false belief or an incorrect belief. Fear of change and rigid beliefs are the Hangman. Here is a question, if you pull this card, what do I need to surrender to and or become more aware of in order for me to evolve? Death, renewal through transformation. Physical, mental resistance. You're really resistance on both levels, and therefore you have stagnation. A question, if you pull the Death card, can I immerse, surrender, and allow myself to experience the cycle of darkness, knowing something important will emerge. Okay, we're coming to an end, folks. Temperance. That's all about self-regulating and being aware. The opposite of that is being completely out of balance, and you have unstable actions and reactions, and sometimes we become very, very moody. Here, the question for temperance is, where do I need to, where do I need to refine? Now, refining, I mean, what can I add or what can I eliminate that will help me integrate myself, my situation, and therefore achieve balance, wherever that is. The devil. Now, we are able to see through illusions, or we are afraid of being exposed in some way. It's everything that is repressed is wrapped up in the devil. What I like to ask every one of you that may have pulled the devil, listen to this. Which of these words apply to you in some area of your life? The first word is deception. The second word is domination. And the third and last is separation. The Tower. Shattering false thinking and releasing, freeing up. The opposite of that is denial, avoidance, and having a bad attitude. You know, being maybe a little stubborn in some way. So the Tower is, what would liberate me today if I took steps to do it or say it? The Star card. Trusting, seeking guidance, or doubting one's own abilities and being narrow-minded. The Star says, as currently, how do I see my life? What can I do to get inspired today? The Moon, always having to do with deep unconscious awareness. The opposite of that is resistance to working with the shadow, listening or seeing the shadow. And there's usually some mental issues, sometimes depression, anxiety. Sometimes it's for a couple weeks. Sometimes it's more, but there's this feeling of being having a moodiness, a fear, can't get out of our own way. For the Moon card, the question is, what is real and what is imagined within me? I also tell everyone to listen to your dreams. They come from the unconscious when we're not physically aware, mentally aware in our everyday working state. The unconscious will work through us in the dream state. Learn to listen to your dreams, maybe log your dreams. The symbology of your dreams are all gateways of getting out of the moon energy of, sometimes it's a lot of self-loathing and unhappiness. Okay, the Sun card, spiritual, personal renewal, or rejecting your inner child, having the what's the use mentality. It's, I don't feel it, that's not me, that doesn't feel right. What's the use? I've tried this. It doesn't work. No, it's in my family. That's what we have to ask when we get the reverse sun card. And know that you are free and capable to begin anew every day. How we get past that is to see a new way, see a new vision of yourself. That really helps with that every day is a new opportunity. We're getting there, friends. We're coming to judgment, and that is the integration, and we've awakened. I see the light. I have an aha moment. The opposite end of that is when you are projecting onto others, and you say to others, it is my way or the highway, because you fear change or changing your route. Having to learn something new, and you become isolated sometimes if you deny that integration process of compassion and love for everything, your good, the bad, the ugly, the what is, just integrating it within you. It is part of it. Remember that we have both within us, heaven and hell, and it's okay. So for judgment, my question is, have I been accountable for what I do, say, act, and react? Am I made aware of it and how it influences me, my tone, and how it influences all of those around me? The world, understanding, finally getting it all together, and we are liberated by that process. The reverse meaning is the ego and unwilling to see or change oneself. The world says, can I do and celebrate my achievements? And do I feel complete? Or do I struggle with celebrating my achievements or declaring those things that I have conquered and overcome? Do I not give myself credit for my self-worth, my abilities, and my gifts? And that goes back where we hide our true selves under a cloud. We're afraid to be what the devil indicates, to be revealed. Okay, we are now coming to the Fool. Has a lot of interpretation. Breaking it down, it's the ability to risk, to trust yourself, to trust the universe and your uniqueness. The opposite is being fearful, reluctant, joyless, and kind of inertia, not knowing what to do, when to do it, going in a circle, spinning our wheels, losing opportunities, losing precious time. The question that I have is, where do I need to be more open? What stops me from being playful and letting my hair down, letting my guard down, not worrying about if people are going to find it foolish, how they're going to react, just letting that joyful, childlike, not childish, childlike energy that we all have within us come out and be expressed. So that wraps it up for this section. What I want to just quickly share with you is we will be talking about the next part of the second chapter, noticing your beliefs, step 1s. We will talk about that, and then we will talk about the 4 empowering beliefs, and following that are the 4 beliefs that really limit us. So if you have any questions, friends, please feel free to let me know. I hope that this is helping you in some way. I really appreciate all those who leave comments and talk about their own experiences. I certainly welcome that. Thanks, everyone. Hope you're all having a great weekend. Much love. Bye for now.